What is up, RetroManiacs? Welcome to the Retro Card Chat Podcast. My name is Mike, and I'm from Mike's Retro Trading Cards. And I'm joined by the only two men that didn't sign a free agent contract to go somewhere else this week. They are, of course, Joe Day and EP Eric Powick. How you doing, boys?
I've been meaning to tell you guys. I did sign a contract. I'm going to be leaving, going to Bloomsburg University instead.
Well, why are you wearing Jets colors if you're going to Bloomsburg University?
Patrick's Day.
It was yesterday.
Sure. Yeah, yesterday.
So Mike, I was also going to tell you this, but I have signed a contract with Dustin Show off-centered because they need to get more centered, I think.
They do, yeah.
They've been so off-centered. I think they really need to get centered. So, yeah, I'll be joining that program here in the next couple of weeks. So, big money. Right. They're hiring me as a wide receiver 4 kind of thing. So, but they're paying me like a wide receiver 1. I couldn't turn it down.
Okay. Well, yeah. You're definitely 4th in the pecking order on that show.
On that show, for sure. I'm too centered.
Yeah.
I'm too centered.
You're clearly number 1 on this show. Just ask the viewers. Everybody loves Joe Day. I've been running to viewers at card shows, and they're like talking about how they like Joe Day, and Card Show Kevin jumps in and says, you know what? The more I watch, the more I find I have a lot in common with Joe. And I'm like, no, you really don't.
Wait, did he actually say that?
Yes, he did.
Oh, fantastic. Card Show Kevin, the man.
I tried to tell people that we edit Joe Day on this podcast here. Like, he is nothing like he is in the real world. We would not be able to be on here if he was like he was in the real world.
No,
but everybody's loving some Joe Day.
We would have a bajillion subscribers.
I don't know.
Unfiltered Joe Day is something else, though.
His head is not going to fit in that box up there before long. Oh, well, how's it going this week, boys?
Well, in honor of St. Patrick's Day being yesterday, I got a stout for an alcoholic beverage, though it's not a Irish stout, but I couldn't find anything else. So I am going to drink a stout today. But other than that, I got nothing, Mike. It's going to be a really quick opening.
Your beer is in a koozie. You could have told people it was an Irish stout. Nobody would have known.
I can't lie to the viewers, man. How would I have Card Show Kevin? It's the honesty. That's why Card Show Kevin loves me. All right. EP, what are you drinking today?
I've got some Trogs Graffiti Highway IPA. It's their new
Trogs. Mine's also Trogs.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, very good.
I'm really glad you hadn't opened that yet, because holding it sideways, it would have poured out. It would have fried. You would have been gone.
That would have been hilarious.
You're trying to figure out what to do. Yeah. Oh, well, happy belated St. Patrick's Day to anybody who's Irish. I'm not. Yeah. I don't really care about it, but whatever, you do you. I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't have a day like that I celebrate. I don't even know what I am, but anyway, people will be asking that question till the end of time. I know what that guy is. Oh, anything new and exciting with you, EP?
Yeah, actually, I
other than the greenish colored jacket. I think that's a little too dark for St. Patrick's Day, don't you think?
I don't have anything else green. This is the only green I own, so
should be more like emerald green, shouldn't it?
It is, but I don't have anything like that. That's crazy. It's crazy stuff. Anyhow, I bought a lot of basketball cards I was telling you guys about. This is again, I've talked about it on Extra Innings. I like to buy lots that are in pages, and a lot of people they avoid them, and a lot of people will sell them cheaply. I got a lot for 99 cents plus, shipping was like $18 or whatever, but the total of $20, and it had eight Jordan cards, a couple second-year Kobe cards, a Tim Duncan rookie card, and like refractors. Like this is like Topps finest stuff, like really really high-end stuff.
How many cards do you think total?
So over 1,000. There's a decent amount of base in there, but I mean there's a couple refractors, like a bunch of rookies, a couple of Allen Iverson rookies, a couple of Ray Allen rookies, so Hall of Fame rookie cards and a bunch of stuff. The thing is, a lot of this stuff, these like stuff that we would sell in our stack sales, or I might sell at a card show. Obviously, there's a bunch of Alonzo Mournings and stuff in there I'm going to keep, but I mean, like this is all stuff that we can sell easily. We can sell in stacks. Beer, was it? No.
That would have been great.
That we can sell in like stack sales when I go to card shows. But a lot of people, like this person, again, I was like concerned, like, oh man, this person probably should have got more for this, but they were probably just trying to get rid of it in a giant lot. And there's a bunch of base in there too, so like, and they don't want to take the effort to sell the individual cards where I'm okay with that effort. So I feel a little better about it.
Enough, there was conversation at the card show yesterday about this lot that EP bought.
Oh, really?
Kind of crazy. Yeah, absolutely.
Who knew
well,
about it?
Like I said, I met a viewer there. Card show Kevin was there, and Rob was there. And, we were all kind of, I might have been saying about how EP is way too nice to be selling cards and how he got the lot, and like said that, oh, I feel badly for the seller because he only got this for it. And even Rob was like, yeah, like, come on. Like, so yeah, we were talking about how you're way too nice to do this. He sold them. He knows what he's doing, what he had.
I'm not sure if he did actually know what he was doing.
Then maybe you shouldn't sell stuff if you don't know what it is.
Yes. Yep.
A couple of points to this. One, did you see if he had any other stuff available?
He did.
Because I would look into that. I was just saying.
There was another lot that went for like $150 that I had bid on up until a certain point that I ended up not. What's that?
He's fine, whatever. And the second thing, Mike, were you kind of waiting for EP to message us and be like, "Yeah, I messaged the seller. I felt I needed to give him more money for that, so I got his PayPal info."
I honestly thought he would.
Thought you were going to. Did it cross your mind? Be honest.
It did.
Wow.
We know him so fucking well.
What are we doing?
So well. Oh my god.
Not how this works.
I didn't do it though. I knew it was the wrong thing to do.
Or did you? And now you're saying you did.
No.
Wow.
No, I didn't.
That's always a possibility. Oh, too nice. You're too nice to do this. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, you have to be a dick like Mike to sell cards. Like,
you really do.
Legit.
Yeah.
Legit.
I mean, not outwardly. I mean, you have to present a facade to the people.
But inside,
like, absolutely. Yeah.
Check out last Wednesday's show. You want to see how angry he gets.
I don't know what you're talking about. It was all for content. I was not actually mad about any of that stuff.
There was no nuanced anger whatsoever.
Yeah, I was just playing a role for the video, like we always do. We're characters here. We're characters.
Right.
Yeah, well, like I said, I went to the local card show and all I kept hearing was, "Where's EP? Where's EP?" I'm like, oh my God, I am the host of the show and everybody's asking about EP. I'm like, I don't know where he is. He's not here. Don't worry about it. But people are just like, where is he? Oh, I'm like, whatever. Had to work, blah, blah, blah. Nice guy, blah, 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 whatever. So, yeah, I really got sick of hearing, where's EP? So, that pretty much my
actually
card show recap right there. You're glad to hear that. You're glad to hear that. You have people fooled. Boy, I wish people could go to Applebee's with you and try to fill out a survey at the end of the meal.
That's fair. That's the only time.
That's the one isolated incident.
Yeah.
That's the only time I ever feared for my life around EP. Not the time we almost died in a golf cart incident.
That was because you were driving.
No, I was still with EP. I was with him. Yeah. I'm just saying. But I legit thought he was going to push me into traffic at one point. Like, I was standing in front of him at a crosswalk as traffic was coming, and I thought about it for a second. I'm like, no, I'm gonna move, and I legitimately moved. I was so concerned he was going to push me into traffic.
Yeah. If I ever find like a genie lamp and a genie comes out and I get 3 wishes, wish number 1 is that everybody that views this gets to do an Applebee's survey with EP. Just to know.
Never happen again. I'm taking precautions for it to never happen again.
I don't trust that it won't ever happen again. What do you think, Joe? The National this year? Are we going to eat at Applebee's?
Hey, is there Applebee's in Cleveland? I mean, it's Cleveland, so I'm guessing there's Applebee's.
We got to find one. We have to see what happens. Get it all on camera. I don't think I've ever seen him so mad in my life.
I still have the marks. I had to go to the hospital.
For I remember that. Like, practically ripped your arm off.
Yeah,
all
had to go to the ER. It's crazy.
All because that poor waiter I was trying to give a good review to, because I know that's what their raises depend on as a former waiter myself. And EP was like, screw the common man, right?
Yeah.
Like, eat garbage.
Which is pretty much
that's
EP
exactly what I said.
It was pretty much EP,
yeah. Wow. Well, like I said, I went to the local card show again. Big show, 95 tables.
Wow.
That's crazy. How was the crowd? Like, how were the tables?
It was a pretty good crowd. It wasn't super busy, but like so many tables there and it was spread out a little more. So it was kind of hard to tell. But yeah, I left with only a shoebox full of cards this time. Not too bad for me. Pick some stuff up from Card Show Kevin. We always seem to be able to come to a deal.
My favorite. I'm a huge
I made a trade. Can you believe that? I traded a card in the deal with Card Show Kevin. So yeah, I pulled it was a CJ Stroud red, white, and blue prism.
Oh, yeah.
You know, because any of us pull stuff like that out of a pack, and it's like, I don't care about this. And,
right.
But CJ Stroud is very popular guy around the card show yesterday, I was hearing. I also found a $1 box at one of our favorite sellers tables, EP. I was telling you a little bit about that. Now, I already picked through it and took out all the good stuff. So like, you're really not gonna want to go through that next time. So
I think I probably still will. I have a feeling James is going to probably put some good cards in there.
No, he already told me he's never going to add any cards to it.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. And he also took my number in case he comes across the boxes of basketball he wants to get rid of. So yeah, I might be spending more. Who knows? I don't know. Got to spend money to make money in this hobby, right?
You do really, really well on your stack sales. We were watching 2 nights ago on Saturday because today's Monday. We were watching 2 nights ago, and you were selling like a ton of cards. And this is just a couple hours after you had told us you had spent a few $100s on cards. I would love to know what, like, in my mind, it's like, oh, Mike just sold $400 of cards, but he just bought $400. You know what I mean? Like, I'd love to actually know. I don't know if you even really know. Do you even really know?
Do you have a running ledger in your brain that you like, just know, like when you're like you're ahead or behind it for a day? Like
you're not as OCD as I am.
Okay.
When it's like writing stuff. Like,
it's really too hard to say though, because I buy a lot in bulk and I buy multiple. Like I got basketball and baseball yesterday, and I sold a ton of the baseball that I got already, but I still have the basketball left. So like, you know, when that is constantly rolling, like it's really hard to go, okay, I spent this on those baseball cards, but I got this, so I'm this far ahead. So it's really kind of more of a, basically you look at your card accounts and see how much money you have in there. And if it keeps growing, you know, you're making money. Like at some point I do have to sit down and do the numbers up for my taxes, and then I'll know better. But yeah, like it's really hard to no winking, Joe. I do pay my taxes. Come on. That's one thing I'm not joking about. IRS, yes. If you're watching, I do pay my taxes.
If you are watching.
I've done it every year for like 30 years. But yeah, so it's really kind of hard to tell, but it is cool to spend a certain dollar amount at a show and then sell a bunch of those cards and basically just on one section of those make back the money I spent and then some. So yeah, feels good though. How I like to do the hobby. A lot of fun. Like is my enjoyment, and I get enjoyment out of selling cards though, because I enjoy looking for those cool cards that are in people's boxes that they don't appreciate, that I know other people are going to appreciate. Like that's like, I'm that guy that goes out and finds that stuff and makes it available to people that can appreciate it. So
mattress
I like that too.
Yeah, mattress money.
Did you end up ever getting a new mattress?
No, I haven't yet.
Oh man, you need a new mattress.
Well, I always end up buying something like football card collections.
At least get hoodies. Screw the mattress. Hoodies.
I love that part of it too, Mike. Like we're facilitating, right? We're taking cards that were sitting in boxes somewhere else, and we're giving them to hopefully end collectors, or if not, then maybe the person that gets it will give it to an end collector eventually. You know what I mean? Like that's the stuff we deal in is a lot of end collector type stuff, though, right? The lower end stuff. I feel like we're going
definitely.
A lot of that's into collectors.
That's what's cool about it, though. Like I told you guys before we went on camera, I sold a bunch of Griffey cards to a buyer who has bought a lot from me in the past. And he said, these are going in my PC and never coming out. And I'm like, that's cool. Like I took these from a box in Shamokin Dam, PA, where they were just sitting there, and this guy who appreciates them is going to have them and keep them. So like, that's cool. I enjoy that part, and I enjoy like the hunt. The hunt is one of the favorite things in this hobby, like trying to find that thing. You don't even know what it is sometimes, but
right. That's the best.
That's what I get
best
enjoyment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a guy, I don't do stack sales, but when I sell on eBay, I'll reach out to the people and say, oh, is there anything else you're looking for or whatever? So I sold a 1999 Playoff Momentum Ike Hilliard. I believe it was Ike Hilliard. Remember the checklist that they had the little piece of jersey and then you flip over and it had all the Giants or all the Jets or whatever. So I sold it to that guy, reached out to him. He never got back to me. Gets back to me like 2 weeks later, be like, oh, I just, I had gotten the card. Thanks so much. I'm actually putting these sets together. And he's putting like master sets together of 1999 Upper Deck holographics. Remember that set?
Oh,
like
yeah.
with the gold, the AU or whatever you call
awesome.
it. He's doing Upper Deck Ionics. He's doing Momentum. Ooh. He's doing Absolute. Like, to put 1999 master sets together is kind of mind-blowing to think that someone's doing that, but it's awesome. Like, so I ended up finding a handful of cards that he needed for his set, which was pretty cool. He's doing the what's the one where it's like the plastic pane? Is that Contenders or it's Absolute? Remember they had
yeah.
Mm-hmm. And he's doing the master set of that with all the different colors.
Oh wow.
Like every player, every color, all the numbered, so the gold, all of the like the orange, I guess, is super short print. So he's putting that set together, which is pretty cool too. So like I see what you're saying. Like I don't do the stack sales and I don't go through cards at card shows, but being able to get cards to people who I know are enjoying them and appreciating them for their personal collections is pretty cool.
Did you recommend a certain YouTube channel to that person? Because that person sounds like
I don't need. We don't need competition. We don't need competition.
Competition. Make them get them a subscriber.
Show.
They're already. I'm sure they're already a subscriber.
Okay.
I thought you said recommend that they start a YouTube channel.
No. Recommend a certain YouTube channel like our YouTube.
I'm gonna have to get Joe some of the business cards so he can put them in with his eBay.
Absolutely would.
All right. What do we have going on this week? We have EP. You have some hot takes for us on Wednesday.
I do. Yes.
Always good when EP gives us hot takes because everybody doesn't think EP talks enough. The viewer I met at the show yesterday said, yeah, I heard your voice and I looked. I'm like, you're Mike, right? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, then he ended up saying, yeah, I wouldn't know EP's voice because I never get to hear him talk. Why is it that people seem to think EP never talks? Joe,
if he has nothing good to say, why should he talk? You know what I'm saying? No offense, EP. I mean that in the nicest possible way.
And I told him how I had to edit the video every week to cut out all the parts where it takes him like 5 minutes.
Actually makes sense.
Yeah, because like make that 5-second point. Yeah, true. Where he just can't pull it out of his brain. Oh, and I don't know if we'll have a Thursday video or not this week. Just keeping it real with you. Yeah. I don't know. If you're waiting for me to do one, probably not because I'm terrible at this, right? And we have 3 cards on Friday, some cool ones I think this week.
Yep.
EP extra innings on Saturday, I think.
Yeah.
Something like that.
I got 2 more in the bag already. So yeah.
Oh wow, that's good. Then we will have one if I remember to put it up. And hopefully this week's Tom Brady. I'm selling my Tom Brady collection video of Joe's. I won't be editing at like 2:00 in the morning.
So we're gonna stack sale like a madman every weekend, and you'll be in good shape.
I am running a stack sale, so I might want to do this before next week. But yeah,
probably. Yeah.
But what is this week's episode gonna be?
So the past week was the cards I'm selling out of my PC. This coming week, cards I'm keeping in my PC. There's 6 cards that are not leaving my PC, so they're fun cards. I think folks will enjoy that. But yeah, it's getting down to it, boys. I'll be able to turn my chair to its natural positioning so that you can see what I may or may not have right here. It's right here. It's right here.
I can see it.
Can you? No, can you really?
Yeah, it's right up there. We'll all watch Joe fidget his camera for
now I'm paranoid.
All right, well, let's get into it this week. I think we've chit-chatted enough. Everybody's left already, so boy,
part. What are you talking about?
Yeah. I really did not want to have to talk about this because everybody has already given their opinion on it. We gave our opinions on this way before anybody else. What episode was that?
25.
Episode 25. That's our new go-to episode. Episode 25.
Let's get it over 100 views, everyone. Go back to episode 25.
We talked about cleaning versus altering, and with, you know, I blew it last week because I watched a lot of the Victor Wembanyama 101 video, but I didn't see the part where they called out Kurt or shouted out Kurt's card care. And, you know, I would have been in front of everybody on that, but I totally whiffed on that one because it was kind of hard to watch the whole video. Who watches the whole video?
Nobody put it like triple speed, man.
Yeah, I probably should have. But yeah, I mean, everybody is now talking about this. I don't know why it took that to get people talking about it again, but we've had the discussion. Is it cleaning? Is it altering? What can you do? What can't you do? The one thing that is a little different this week is PSA president, right? Ryan Hodge. Is that how you say his name?
I believe so.
I think so.
He finally released a statement. PSA finally said that no, it's not okay to do anything to alter the cards. I mean, not that we should be shocked by this. Like, what can they say? They can't say, yes, you can do it. Like, you know, there are videos out there by other content creators saying, you know, you got to do something. But like, everybody knows that they're not allowing it other than a certain segment, but we'll get to them in a little bit. But like, you can't, like, it's a slippery slope. Like, okay, if you allow the cleaning of a scratch off of there, it's not cleaning. You're actually grinding the card down and filling it in. You're not cleaning it. Cleaning is if there's a fingerprint or a smudge or something and you're wiping that off. Again, we clearly came to the collective decision that we all agreed that if you're taking something off that wasn't supposed to be there, a fingerprint, smudge, something minor like that, it's perfectly fine. If you're adding something to the card or altering something on the card stock to make it look better, it's not okay. Like, it's that simple, right?
Yeah, way back in episode 25.
Way back in episode 25.
I the example I used was like 1999 Topps Chrome. I don't know what they were doing that year, but there was like a film that just caked on to the cards.
Yeah.
Wasn't supposed to be there. Something like that, removing that. And I use, like I said in the back or in that episode, like eyeglass wipes, and I could just wipe it down and then use a microfiber to dry it off. And again, non-alcoholic, not adding anything to the card, just taking something from the card that shouldn't have been there in the first place. Like, that's all fine. My question, though, is, so did they flag the Wemby card? Or did the people that were bringing the Wemby card, were they lying? Like, because they shouted out Kurt's card care, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that means Kurt's card care worked on it, or the product was used on that card. So shouldn't that card be flagged? Shouldn't they?
That's what I was thinking. Like,
right, but
at the very least,
they can't go back and do it now after the fact, right?
Well, they can. They do that all the time, though. They could, like, if you tag the cert with potentially altered, like if you don't know for sure, you didn't see evidence of it, but you know that the people who had it called out,
literally admitted it,
makes a product that allows you to do that. I think you should like flag the cert number on it and say that it could be potentially altered.
And my follow-up to that is, well, then clearly I have no confidence that PSA is actually catching this stuff. If they called out or shouted out Kurt's, implying that they used them, again, maybe they were getting paid to just shout out Kurt's by Kurt to get some free publicity or something. I don't know. But to shout them out, I would assume that they used them. So PSA just missed it. So PSA can come out and say, we're not allowing this. You're not allowed to do that. But if you're not catching it, are you actually stopping people from using it? You didn't catch it in arguably one of the biggest cards of the year. How much can I trust you? My last point on this, stop comparing these cards to comic books. Stop. There's a difference. They are labeled according. You see this nice, pretty blue label? That means that was not altered. Stop comparing it. If you want to go with the comic book method, fine. But that means all those slabs of cards that they find are altered, get a different slab. That's just how comic books are. So the comparison is stupid. All of you using it, stop using it. You're making yourself look like idiots.
Well, I'm not sure how to follow that up. Actually, but go ahead. Wouldn't it be outrageous if they just said that if they said the Kurt's Card Care thing as a joke, or as like an aside that actually didn't mean anything? It created this whole crap storm that YouTube has been going bananas over for an entire week, and it would be I think it'd be outrageous if that was the case. I don't think it is the case, probably. But yeah, to Mike, to your earlier, like to the initial question, like isn't it like this? The difference is it's a flaw versus something that shouldn't be on the card. Like you can't fix a flaw, and the cards are going to have printing flaws. They're going to be off center. They're going to have scratches from going through the press. Like there's a difference between a flaw and something that you put on there either with your thumb or maybe there's like some sort of residue or something in the pack or whatever.
Or you drop the
that
card.
Shouldn't be there. Well, right? If you drop the card,
or you're eating a donut and a piece of the glaze falls on the surface of the card, can you not wipe it off?
I mean, you can, but it's probably not gonna work out very well, right? I don't think donut glaze would actually go very well on a card. But yeah, so I just
use
like
your finger to wipe it off. It'd be good. Little spit.
Some sandpaper. 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 But yeah, to your point, Joe, the same thing. I will use a microfiber cloth on those 99 chrome cards, and I have no problem. If there's like the little flyaways on the sides, we talked about this before. You can the little pieces of paper that shouldn't be there. You can take those off and stuff. But actually adding stuff to the card is in my opinion not something we should be doing. I feel like PSA should they almost had to come out and say it at this point, right? They had to say something here because this is like
should have been done a long time
right,
ago,
right.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you're never you're not going to do it for this card, which I mean, the people are saying this is like if he ends up going to a Hall of Fame career, this is the card, right, for Wembanyama. Mm-hmm. So, and it's again we've talked about with the curtain and all that sort of stuff. There's just a lot around this card. If they don't say it for this card, especially as blatant as the mention was the Kurt's Card Care, like they're probably never going to say it. So they had
right in their house,
right? They had to say something like that. At first I was like, well, that's weird that they said that, but then I was thinking about it, like there's no question they had to do it. Like this, I mean, they had to give this a 10 too, right? They weren't going to give it a 9, no matter how slightly off center it was. Like you're going to give this card a 10 because you want that card to be a PSA 10. You want that card to be shown as a PSA 10 when
that $1 million card, right? You want that $1 million card to PSA 10.
That's a whole other topic of discussion. I mean, like, we don't know the level of what they did. Like, they may have used a wipe to clean something off of the surface. Like, I don't know, but the fact that you don't know leaves a lot of question to people. There are certain people that won't care and other people that would care. I'm not buying the card anyway. At the end of the day, it's not going to affect me. No, I decided I'm not going to. I thought about
it. Has been going very well.
I know. Maybe if I do another one, I'll change my mind, but not sure on that. But yeah, like one of the big things that has blown my mind are the amount of people out there that have no problem with this. There are a lot of people, I've seen people with very condescending comments about dinosaurs like us who seem to have a problem with the fact that like sanding down a card and filling it in with something should somehow change the value of a card. Like, I don't understand this, but maybe I'm the dinosaur. Maybe I am just too old and not I feel like you're cheating people, though, if you're taking something like that. You're altering it. Like, there are, like, if you take an antique and you fix it up and stuff, it's not, like, in its regular form. Some of the stuff isn't worth as much. So, like, I don't, first of all, the comic book comparison, like you said, Joe, not apples to apples. So just stay away from that. The fine art, again, please stop with that shit because fine art is stuff that needs to be preserved.
There's only one Mona Lisa.
There's only
there's only one black Victor Wembanyama too.
No, there isn't. There's a black Shimmer and a black and a black. There would have been an auto.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So yeah, just stop with that stuff. But like, are we wrong? Are we wrong for thinking this is a problem? Because there are a lot more people than you would ever think out there that say, what is the big deal? Why are you people complaining about it? Just shut up. This is how it is now.
By the way, when you get an antique car, if it is I forget the official term, but like same numbers, like everything is the same number, the engine, the body, all of it's matching. I think they call it matching numbers. That holds a premium over a antique car that had a new engine put into it, right?
Restored in any way, right? Yeah.
Restored in any way. Like there is a difference. And I like, just in terms of value, like I talked about the comic book thing. I keep pointing this way because I'm used to being kind of shit. But like the comic book thing, ones with purple labels are worth half of what a blue label one is worth.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
People don't want those. I mean, in very, very, I mean, if there was an Amazing Fantasy 15 first appearance of Spider-Man AP, if there was an Amazing Fantasy 15 purple label 8.0, it is not going to sell as high as a blue 4.0. Like it's just not, because it was altered. It was messed with. And sure, maybe we are dinosaurs. That's fine. We've talked about cards and the stories they tell. Give me a PSA 3 of that Tom Brady. I should send you guys a picture. The Tom Brady Contenders PSA 3 with a 10 auto. Give me that over one that's looks beautiful, but you know for a fact that it was trimmed. Again, it's personal preference. If you don't mind it, it kind of reminds me of remember the old SNL skit where it was the Steroids Olympics? And they're like, whatever, no one cares, whatever happens. Like, fine, if that's how you are as a collector, have at it. For me, I like the card as it was, like as it went through its journey. You know.
Yeah, I love those cards too. I don't know if we talked about it on the show, but there's that Mickey Mantle PSA authentic that somebody had cut out and put in a scrapbook. That's an amazing card. That is a one of one unique collectible in my opinion. I'd rather have that than even like a PSA 1 of that card. Obviously, I can't afford either of them, but I mean that's a very unique collectible, and I think we love that. But I think the issue, I think, with this whole thing, and Mike talking about the number of people talking about this and like being okay with it, is that this hobby has always allowed back bad actors, right? Why does this hobby allow so many bad actors to do their thing? It's crazy, and I realize it's because there's money involved and the people and everything. But we allow it, and I think it's terrible. I feel like I don't know. I just don't. I wish we could make it go away. But there's no way we can. I feel like it's only probably going to get worse. If you are doing something to your collectible, any collectible, and you are hoping not to get caught. Right. That is a red flag that you are doing something bad. You're doing something illegal.
Or you're willing to just say, hey, Kurt's Card Care, thanks a lot. Like, wow, that was right. The fact that they did that is still mind-blowing to me, because they don't give a shit about getting caught, apparently.
Right. Like
already in the slab. What are you going to do now, in their minds?
Yeah. I mean, there has always been a segment of the hobby that are willing to do things like this. No different. This is no different than anything else that's been done to cards all over time. But that has always been thought of as wrong by the hobby as a whole. So just because you're being open about it now doesn't make it any less wrong. Let's just understand that. It is like how's this any different than Evan Mathis? Like, we know that PSA doesn't always catch the card. Neither do BGS, SGC, any of them. This is the problem. We put so much into the grading of a card that this stuff is now like people are saying it's okay, because it's all about trying to get that number on the card. Like, if that Wembanyama had a little bit of a scratch on it, if grading and everybody's addiction to trying to get a 10 wasn't a thing, it wouldn't have made any difference in value on that card. The only one there is. You don't like it? Well, too bad for you. This is how it is. Like, why do you have to make that better? Oh, because if you throw it in this label, in this slab with a label on it that says 10, is now worth more, which is absolutely ridiculous. But this is how the hobby's going. It's about making money, about people that want an easy flip to be able to make lots of money on something. They don't want to do work like you and I do, EP, with actually looking for cards and putting work into running a sale. They just want to be able to cheat somebody and make as much money. It's gross. It's disgusting. But hey, if you want to be that person, you do you. No matter what I say, you're not watching our channel to begin with.
Right.
But even if you heard me, you don't care. That's fine. I don't care that you want to be that way, but I do think you're gross. So
I will say too, we talked about it. I mentioned last week, if that Wembanyama is any other grade, it wouldn't matter. It would sell for, if it was a 9 or an 8 or a 7, I think it would probably sell for the same as it would in just an authentic slab. Like it's putting that 10, and you're right, Mike, and you beat me to it. I was going to interrupt you, but I was like, no, I already went a lot. So, but like the obsession we have, the addiction we have to grading, and EP said, I don't know why people do it. I looked over here. Is my wallet here? Like I was literally gonna, like, that's why people do it. They're so obsessed with the grade to make more money. They don't care about the grade for their, some people care about the grade for their PC a lot more than they should, but they care more about, well, this was a $500,000 card maybe as a PSA 8, but I can probably get $1 million for it as a PSA 10. And to your point, EP, I believe you said earlier that PSA was just going to give this a 10 regardless. It's probably the only time the PSA has actually followed their own centering requirements for a PSA 10 ever. So that's my last thought on that.
I made this comparison before, but I want to just kind of bring it back just for a second. Like this, it feels again just like the steroids scandal, where the people taking steroids were kind of trying to stay one step ahead of the people that were testing for the steroids. Like, and like when they were doing this, like this sort of like cheating the system. So if you are somebody who is cheating the system, you better not be somebody who thinks, oh, those baseball players that took steroids shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame because you're a hypocrite. Get over yourself.
Yeah, big time. Well, other people who just want to make as much money as possible apparently are NFL football players. Holy cow, what a whirlwind this past week was in free agency.
Crazy.
We thought we'd take a little bit of time here to look at some of the moves and think about card impacts on that. First one I have here on the list, Kirk Cousins to the Atlanta Falcons. I mean, this is anytime a quarterback goes to a new team and that new team has, we're going to be better now, the cards are going to go up, right? People are going to be paying some crazy money for Kirk Cousins, right? Am I wrong?
I think Kirk Cousins for sure will get a bump. I think like Drake London might get a bump for those who collect other than quarterbacks, right?
Quarterback.
Right. I think Drake London could get a bump. I think Kyle Pitts could get a bump in value. Like people like speculating that they might get a statistical jump because of Cousins.
Do they care about those positions?
I was going to say, if you're collecting
all about
anything
the quarterback
other than quarterback, right? So that's what's tough. Like the excitement of Cousins going someplace else will probably bump up his value. But can we just talk for a second about how smart Kirk Cousins is? This man has made almost $500 million in the NFL. Kirk Cousins, my man knows how to work the system, and he's been doing it for years. Congratulations to you, pal. But yeah, his cards will get a bump. I have a couple of Kirk Cousins toys. I might have to put them on eBay real quick.
He has that unique ability to be able to play at a level where you're bad enough that the team that has you doesn't want you after a couple of years, but you're good enough that other teams that don't have a quarterback,
2/3 of the NFL want you.
So you get a lot of money. Yeah, like it's really kind of odd when you think about it, but it's the truth. Like he's bad, but he's not that bad. And he's good, but he's not that good. He's right in the perfect range to go from team to team to get a lot of money to go from team to team to team.
See, I would argue he's just above that Mendoza line. Like he's been in like a top 10 quarterback for like 10 years, hasn't he? So like if he somehow wins a Super Bowl with the Falcons, like he becomes like the next Stafford. Like he becomes somebody who potentially could go in the Hall of Fame. He won't, but I'm saying like there are going to be a lot of people speculating that in the card world. They're going to be thinking, okay, well, here, I'm going to get a bunch of Kirk Cousins cards. I have a Kirk Cousins Topps Chrome rookie, a bunch of that sort of stuff. And there's also people saying that Drake London is way better than he actually like. They're people saying, oh, he's like this world class talent.
He is good, and he is better than he's shown. I do believe.
So, and Kirk Cousins could maybe not turn him into Justin Jefferson, but there are going to be a lot of people speculating that he's going to make his numbers look a lot better too.
Mike, are you going to talk about who replaced Kirk Cousins? Because that's one where I think people might be going and saying, I could pick up some Sam Darnold cards. Maybe this is a Sam. No, EP, have you watched any content on YouTube? People will pick up Sam Darnold cards. And
it's fine.
They picked up Sam Darnold cards when he went to the Niners, when he went to the Panthers. Like, I would not be shocked if Sam Darnold cards see a spike. You're wearing your jet screen in honor of Sam Darnold. I wouldn't be surprised if his cards get a bump from being the starter for the Vikings.
I have a Sam Darnold take that I thought of this week that I was going to text you guys, but I saved it for the show. Is Sam Darnold playing on 4 teams in 6 years more of a condemnation of his talent or of the people that are scouting the talent in the NFL, the teams in the teams that actually are rostering him? Which is the bigger condemnation?
Well, he's a USC quarterback.
Yes, 100%, right?
Yeah, absolutely. He has a strong arm. Mm-hmm. So it's the NFL equivalent to a pitcher who can throw high 90s or hit 100, but they have no control or no other pitches. There's always going to be somebody out there that goes, you know what? If we work with him,
we can make it work. Yep.
Yeah. And you go with Kyle Shanahan and you don't have to actually play. It was kind of like, remember back in the 90s, like anybody who was a backup for the Packers was going to be great. You know, Mark Brunell, Doug Peterson, there were a lot of them. So like that's
Kurt Warner.
No, not quite the same thing, but yeah, like with Kyle Shanahan, that's kind of where they are now. Oh, well, if Shanahan saw something in him, we might be able to. Yeah, it's ridiculous, but we're going to take way too long if we go too long for each one of these. I'm going to put these 3 together because they're all intertwined. The Steelers signed Russell Wilson, right? Okay, we got Russell Wilson go to the Steelers. Then we have Kenny Pickett being shipped out of Pittsburgh to the Eagles. And then we have Justin Fields going to the Steelers too. Like, I don't know, Joe, you are the expert on all things Pittsburgh quarterbacks. Give us your take.
I am a recovering Steelers fan, as I like to say. So real quickly, I would like to thank everyone for the calls and the text and the flowers of condolence for Kenny Pickett, I guess. I don't like Kenny Pickett because he played for the Steelers. In fact, when he got drafted by the Steelers, I was kind of bummed out because I hate the Steelers. Okay. I loved them when I was a kid. They did some things. They looked to the other direction of some things. I think we know what we're talking about. Atlanta, Georgia bathrooms. That's all I'm going to say. But so I wasn't a Steelers fan anymore for a long, long time. So Kenny not being there is a good thing. But I thank you, everyone, for your condolences and your concern. For this, how many Russell Wilson collectors missed the 1 week window to like sell his cards? Like now the Justin Fields collectors are like, shit, I got to get this stuff out because who knows, maybe they'll draft someone in the first round now just to screw with everyone. But it's not just card collecting, but fantasy football wise. People were like, I was looking through one of my fantasy football forums and people were like, okay, should I give up Jamar Chase for Russell Wilson in a super flex and stuff like that? I'm like, what is happening right now? Like, are you nuts? So yeah, people should have gotten the Wilson cards out as soon as possible. They ended up going to get Justin Fields. If you have Justin Fields cards and you see a bump, sell them now. They both can't play quarterback. And I know for a fact, one definitely cannot actually play quarterback. He might be Najee Harris's backup.
Which one?
Fair.
Okay. One guy did get to a Super Bowl, so.
Yeah. Won a Super Bowl.
I think that was 20 years ago. What are we at now? Is that
no? They lost that, didn't they? Wasn't that the Marshawn Lynch?
He won one and lost one.
Did he win one? Boy, I don't even remember him winning one.
Yeah, wow. He beat Peyton Manning the first year Manning was with the Broncos, I believe.
Yeah, this is like the most un-Steelers thing ever, and it's as far as card collecting goes, like Kenny Pickett. This was his second year. No, it was his rookie this year, wasn't he?
This would have been This would have been going into his third year.
This will be his third year this year.
Yeah. So it's as far as card collecting, like all these league wide, there's just so many players that have changed hands. But I mean, this is a very un-Pittsburgh like thing, and it's you wonder what's going to happen. They said, I think yesterday or this morning, that they told Russell Wilson, "Oh, don't worry, you're the starter. Don't worry about it. You're the starter." But I mean, Justin Fields is,
and then they also told Justin Fields that he'll compete for the job.
Right. So I mean,
and Russell Wilson is a nut job, so he is not going to like that at all.
One of my favorite sayings, like this works in college, is if you have two quarterbacks, you don't have a quarterback. Yeah. So you have two. If you have two like B level quarterbacks, like you don't really have a quarterback. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with are they going to draft somebody and then trade both those guys?
Who knows?
Maybe. Okay, I have a hot take for you though.
All right.
I think Kenny Pickett cards are a buy right now, a big time buy. I'm an Eagles fan. I'm a homer. Yes. But I also feel like I'm kind of knowledgeable about that team. If Jalen Hurts were to get hurt this year, which always a possibility, he's had some injuries he's played through the last couple of years, that team has a ton of talent on offense. And if Kenny Pickett steps in and has a good game or two, those cards are going to skyrocket because it's the Eagles, the big time NFL team with a big fan base, take it, everybody, like the Eagles fans have always loved the backup quarterback, just one of those things. That's Philadelphia, if Jalen Hurts has a bad game, there will be people yelling for Kenny Pickett to start. But if he gets an opportunity, those cards will probably double in value of what you have into them, right?
Could you imagine what this show would be like if Kenny Pickett pulls some Nick Foles crap?
Weird.
And leads him to the Super Bowl or something? Can you imagine Joe Day?
Both of us
during that time,
like the top part of this screen right now would both be going crazy.
Oh, that'd be.
Did you see Mike? You don't follow him on IG, but he posted a picture of him when he was like 5 years old at Christmas, pulling out a Donovan McNabb jersey.
Oh,
he was an Eagles fan.
Well, there you go.
He almost went to Temple.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he's from New Jersey. He
should have gone there.
Yeah.
Could have been on my shelf here.
He could have been.
Okay, I'm gonna package up a couple other quarterbacks who used to be one of them that was definitely a hobby darling, and another one that certain people put a lot of money into in the hobby. Mac Jones going to the Jaguars to be a backup, and Desmond Ridder going to Arizona. I mean, Wilson. What is there to say?
Jeff Wilson is all I'm going to say. So Jeff Wilson, this video keeps getting brought up to me, even though I watch it when it first came out, but it's like a suggestion on YouTube for me to watch again, I guess. But it's Jeff Wilson buying a Desmond Ridder Black Prism for like $20,000 or $30,000 from Roth cards. And it like that video, I just wish that should be the new Will Grier thing. Like, him spending that much money on a Desmond Ridder card should be more of a mockery than him saying Will Grier's a better buy.
I did see him poke fun at himself though for that. Well, so I did like that. Yeah.
At least he's self-deprecating, but he also said card cleaning was no big deal. So I don't know. I'm cool not listening to anything he says. But and then Mac Jones, I brought it up last week, mistakenly saying it was $1 million card, $100,000 Black 101. Just what, like 2 years ago, that was $100,000 card.
The greatest decision ever made by anybody in the hobby, and it was a kid.
Yeah. Yes, that's a good point.
Sell that card right away.
Do you remember this weird moment in the hobby when the rated rookie PSA 10 Mac Joneses were going for like $1,000 a pop? Do you remember that weird time in the hobby?
I do.
It was just so, because people were worried that they had lost the license or something, so they thought this might be the only Mac Jones card. It was the first one, and people were just going nuts about it. And it's now probably worth $5, maybe in a PSA.
No, it's not worth that much.
Not even that, probably. Yeah, and Mike, when you first introduced these, you talking about Ritter and I can't remember who's the other guy. Mac Jones.
Mac Jones, yeah.
There was uncharacteristic silence for like three seconds, 3 beats. Like you should insert the cricket noise, the crickets like in the background because of how like, and that's how I feel about this. Like, yes, in this hobby, people are going like, oh, I got to get some Desmond Ritter cards, or I'm going to go out and find them because people are talking about these players. But for the 3 of us, like this doesn't move the needle at all, right? Like they're backups, and there's nothing that really.
Not for me in terms of what I collect or what I invest in, but I actually don't think Desmond Ritter now. I kind of along the same lines as you, Mike, with Kenny. I think Desmond Ritter, if you can find some nice stuff super cheap, Kyler Murray gets hurt all the time. Now, the difference is Kenny would have A.J. Brown, Devonta Smith, and Dallas Goedert to throw to, and someone else we're going to talk about to hand the ball off to, where Desmond Ritter has no one. He has James Conner, he had a Pitt, but that's about it. So
the big difference,
he might have a shot to start, but the difference is the talent around him is so weak.
Okay, and 2 running backs I wanted to throw out here. Derrick Henry going to the Ravens, and the big one, Saquon going to the Eagles.
Saquon going to the Eagles, man. EP's wearing his Eagles green today, and Saquon going to the division right. That's got to hurt you, EP. I'm letting you stew in it a little bit as a Giants fan. Possibly one of the greatest running backs ever to play the game. Huge Penn State guy too. You have to be really, really upset by this.
I don't get really upset about sports, so that's not true. But but I mean, I was disappointed that he was leaving. But like, I also like the Giants are nowhere near any sort of being a competitive team. So if he gets a chance to win a Super Bowl, that'd be pretty cool. Like if he, and I think the Eagles are one of the contenders in the NFC.
Kenny winning a Super Bowl, baby. Come on,
that'd be wild.
You never know.
That would be wild.
I did think to myself, pretty much. Again, I heard the rumors and stuff like that, and I was a little upset. Like not like I wasn't like sobbing in my hands or anything crazy like that. But it's like I was disappointed. I guess is a better thought. But like I have a SGC 9.5 Saquon Barkley rated rookie, and I'm probably gonna put that out at the next card show I go to, because I mean, like people around here are gonna be looking to buy it probably, and more so than they were even before. Yeah. And I can probably buy it back after he gets hurt and like after week 4 or 5. So
it's fair.
Good.
Now, we are local. We're in Pennsylvania, so Penn State and the Eagles, but talking to the dealers at the card show, there was a lot of interest yesterday with Saquon Barkley cards and people looking for them, people selling them. The one dealer, James, he collected Saquon and he's his PC, but he's actually an Eagles fan. So like, it was like a perfect situation for him. But he was even saying, because he does a lot on eBay, that like the prices on eBay and stuff were going up because he's been looking at his cards. So there is a lot of excitement for him, which, for a running back to be able to do the Derrick Henry thing isn't going to move the needle most likely because unfortunately, but like as good as he is, like he's never really had a big hobby presence. Like, the position has been devalued in the NFL, definitely devalued in the hobby. And like, unfortunately, it's not going to make a big deal. But I do think Saquon could be an exception this year because, again, a team with a big fan base, it would be like going to, the Chiefs or going to the Cowboys or something like that. They get a little bit of a bump because there are a lot more people looking for those cards. So it'll be interesting, though.
I think the argument for Henry, though, is like he's going to make that team a lot better, and you wonder if that's the kind of thing that maybe that pushes them finally over the hump, and that'd be kind of interesting. Like if they make a Super Bowl run and he's the big reason why, I could see maybe a little bit more interest. But like you said,
Derrick Henry from a few years ago for that to matter, though. I think if he's just like Gus Edwards on steroids a little bit, I don't think it would.
Gus Edwards.
Hot take: Derrick Henry having a great season and getting them a Super Bowl would just increase Lamar Jackson cards.
That's that's true.
Because everybody with Lamar Jackson is waiting for him to get to a Super Bowl. So, yeah, that would probably be the big benefit of that. Well, speaking of football cards,
wait, we're not gonna the big one, like your boy. We're not gonna talk about your big one, Mike. Justin Herbert. What about Justin Herbert?
He ain't going anywhere.
Oh, he doesn't have any wide receivers left.
He lost to Keenan Allen, and Austin Eckler. So I mean,
who needs all pro wide receivers? I mean, come on. Yeah. They'll draft. They might have Marvin Harrison Jr.
That's going to hurt his value in the hobby, right? Not having all those weapons is going to hurt his value in the preseason in the hobby, right?
He's Teflon.
Not at all.
All right. Well, I found a list of the top 5 selling cards in volume for eBay for the last football season. I thought it would be fun to play a little game here and see if you guys could figure this out. Oh,
I thought it was for all sports.
Just football, based on last season, the players who sold the most cards. Let's start with quarterback. Who do you think the biggest selling quarterback was?
It should be Mahomes. We'll watch it be Herbert. I'm going to say Mahomes.
It is Patrick Mahomes.
Oh, wow.
That was an easy one there.
Wow.
Okay.
Who is second?
EP?
Joe Burrow?
Joe Burrow was 4th. So I'll give you credit for anything in the top 5.
Okay. Justin Herbert.
No.
Interesting. Wow.
We'll save that thought.
Okay.
EP?
Lamar Jackson?
No.
Tom Brady?
No.
Okay. Wow.
I don't know if that was just active play. Was it just for active players?
Okay.
It's going to say Mac Jones, but it's a joke. It's not
Super Bowl.
Oh, Jalen Hurts.
Brock Purdy.
Jalen Hurts? Brock Purdy, yes, Joe. Okay. Brock Purdy. Think rookie.
Oh, it's CJ Stroud.
There you go. CJ Stroud was number 3. Joe Burrow was number 4. Number 5, I'm just going to give it to you because I was shocked. Trevor Lawrence was number 5, not Josh Allen, not Justin Herbert. And this is where I was actually going to talk about Justin Herbert, EP.
Sorry.
For a guy who, like, his reputation in the hobby is as big as it is, he's not even in the top 5 in card sales on eBay for the last season. Like, could it be that Justin Herbert cards are overrated?
How dare you say such things?
I need the Batman Robin slap thing right now. Well, good. People are finally smartening up. Maybe, I don't know. That'd be nice. I mean, the top 5 is not unreasonable.
No, that's good. Good 5.
I mean, Trevor Lawrence is interesting just because he did have a down second half of the season, but he was probably, from all the videos I watched, the most popular guy at the National last year. Like, people were assuming he was taking that next level. So maybe there was so much buying and selling of him, like, leading up to the season and the early part of the season. Maybe that kind of skewed the numbers a little bit. But Purdy and Mahomes make a ton of sense at the time.
Well, that's why I went with Hurts, because there was a lot of buzz around him in the preseason because of what they did the previous year, and I thought there were a lot of people thinking, "Oh, they're going to make the next step, and they're going to go to the Super Bowl, and possibly win the Super Bowl." But that's why I thought Hurts.
That didn't happen.
No, it did not.
All right. Let's go with the wide receiver / tight end list. Anybody who catches passes.
Travis Kelce.
Yeah, Travis Kelce.
Hey, there you go. Travis Kelce is number 2, actually, though.
Or Taylor Swift.
Wow. Taylor Swift is number 1. Nope. Yes, there you go. No. Oh, she's not an NFL football player? Okay.
Jamar Chase?
Jamar Chase is number 4. Very good.
Oh, wow.
Even though he doesn't have many cards, I'm going to go out on a limb and say Puka.
No.
No? Okay. He doesn't have a lot of cards, so I didn't think he would, but his cards are pretty valuable, the ones that he does have right now.
Is Jerry Rice on the list?
No. These are all current players.
Okay.
Justin Jefferson.
Number 1. Absolutely. Yeah. All right.
Tyreek Hill.
Tyreek Hill is number 5. So you're missing number 3, who to me, is a pretty big surprise in one
CeeDee
regard.
Lamb.
There you go.
Oh,
CeeDee
okay.
Lamb. Right?
He was so good for me in fantasy last year.
And but he kind of flies under the radar a little bit in the hobby. But, big fan base again with Dallas. So it makes sense, especially speaking volume of cards sold.
Yeah. And his second half was crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
His second half was
really
crazy.
good. All right. Running backs.
Bijan Robinson.
He's number 2.
Okay.
Derrick Henry.
No.
Not on the list.
Did you not listen to my whole spiel?
Apparently not.
I thought it was misdirection.
I was foreshadowing.
My boy CMC, number 1.
He's number 1, yes.
Okay.
Saquon?
No, surprisingly.
Oh, this is tough. Running backs are tough.
You're missing a big one.
Joe Mixon. That's a joke.
Alvin Cook.
Bijan Robinson and
Jahmyr Gibbs.
Jahmyr Gibbs.
Yeah, good
he's
call.
number 3. Now 4 and 5, I don't think you're gonna get, but I'll let you throw a couple names out
around a couple of times. Breece Hall.
Number 4. There you go.
Wow.
Now number 5, I'm gonna be shocked if you get number 5, but I'll give each of you one guess.
Austin Eckler.
It is not Austin Eckler.
Since you
that was a horrible guess.
That was a horrible guess. Since you combine Robinson and Gibbs, I'm going to say Hall and Kenneth Walker.
Wow, very good, Joe Day.
Gross. So many bad running backs on that list.
He looked at the list. Clearly,
no, hand to God on Kenny Pickett's life. I did not cheat on. I would have cheated on other ones for sure if that was the case. But yeah, I figured because Breece Hall and Kenneth Walker were in the same class, so I thought people love young running backs. They don't like Derrick Henry or Austin Eckler.
4 of the 5 are from the last couple of years. So.
Last 2 years. And CMC is just above and beyond,
Yeah. Do you want to do defensive players? I have the top 5 defensive players too. This could be entertaining.
Let's throw a couple. Let's throw a couple around. Aaron Donald.
Aaron Donald checks in at number 5.
Okay. Aiden Hutchinson.
Aiden Hutchinson, number 1. Not surprisingly.
No.
Who was the Texans player who went? Is there a Texan on there?
No.
Okay. I was thinking there.
TJ Watt on there? Steelers guy? No.
The Eagles guy, Sweat. No. He had rookies. I don't know. Who's a big defensive back, EP?
Like big in size or?
No. Who's the Dallas guy? That's not Diggs. No.
But there are 2 defensive backs on here.
I have no idea. I have 0 idea. Troy Polamalu.
You do know the one.
Yeah,
you're gonna kick yourself when I tell you Sauce Gardner.
Oh gosh. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Number
rookie
3
years ago. Yeah.
Okay.
You're also gonna kick yourself at number 2. You want another shot? Linebacker. Come on.
Let me think for a second here.
Linebacker, someone with a lot of sacks, I would guess. Oh, the Penn State guy. Micah Parsons.
There you go.
Yeah, okay.
And number 4 was actually Kyle Hamilton. From the Ravens.
Notre Dame guy, right?
I mean, he was he was dominant.
The Ravens defense,
points too, yeah. So pretty cool list. I thought the defensive player was kind of cool because it really is related to how they play pretty much. Unlike some of the others. So.
Is there anybody?
There's not anyone on there.
No. What's that?
Are there more than 5? Do you have more than 5 on your list?
No, I only gave the top 5 for each. Okay. So I thought that'd be fun.
There's no one on there that you're like, how?
Right.
If Justin Herbert made the top 5, which luckily he didn't, you'd be like, what? What has he shown to do that?
Everybody's holding They're Justin Herbert cards, because why would you sell them? They're going to be worth so much in like a year or two when he
spent so much money on that card. I can't sell it for that.
Oh, yeah. One or the other. Yeah.
Right.
There are many reasons you hold a card. Sometimes because you just don't want to admit how big of an L you're going to take for it.
How many collectors do you think walk around they see their Justin Herbert card and just start sweating? Like, I can't believe I made so much money on that card. This is probably a lot, right?
Is it really an L though if you don't sell it?
Someone said that. What was
I put on a T-shirt?
I was watching a video. I swear to God, an old video, and the guy said, like a card video, and the guy said, "Well, it's not an L until you sell it." And I'm like, well, that's terrible advice.
Kind of is though.
Yeah. Oh no.
All right. Well, I'm gonna wrap things up with one more quick little thing. Did you see the Julio Rodriguez Topps gum card? Only 5 of them made. It's made out of gum. Yeah. But they put it in a slab. I can't eat it. What good is gum?
I'll be cracking that in
you can crack it out.
Okay, this is really where I wanted to go with it. What are the odds that one of them will be cracked out and eaten?
100%. No doubt.
I think so, we should buy one.
How much are they?
Crack it and eat it on the channel, because that is content.
That would be content. You better put that sucker in a slab mag, because those UV rays are gonna really melt that gum up. I told Mike I was gonna do a bit where I was gonna have a gum and I was gonna be chewing it and spit it out as a joke. And of course I didn't have time to go to the grocery store and I don't have gum around the house. But yeah, I for how much they probably cost, since there's only 5 of them, I don't think we should do that.
Why not? Content.
I feel like
content.
I feel like if I won the lottery and had endless cash, right, I would buy all 5 of them, eat 4 of them, and say, I got the only one left.
Pop one, bitches. Pop one.
Oh, wow. Well, if anybody in the comments watching this wants to sponsor our video of eating the Julio Rodriguez gum card, hit us up. Like, let us know in the comments if you're going to pay for the card for us to eat.
Yeah.
We'll do it. We will absolutely do it. Do you think it's real gum, or do you think they're messing around?
They've got to be messing around.
It looks like gum, no? They put the powder on it and everything, like the white powder. That
was what made me wonder. Like, did they put the powder on it to make us think it was really gum?
As someone cracks it out and loses 3 teeth.
I feel like it needs to be cracked so we know for sure if it's really gum.
100%. I agree 100%.
If they had Juicy Fruit, their mascot, come over and crack open up a bunch of random cards, he'd probably pull his own gum card. That's how the hobby is.
And he would eat it and the flavor would be gone in 15 seconds. But boy, would that be a good 15 seconds.
You know what's terrible? I could not think of a mascot. And then I'm like, wait a minute, Bazooka Joe. Bazooka Joe would pull his own card for sure.
Also, gum that's for like 15 seconds.
You're right. That's what I was thinking. When Mike said that, I'm like, Bazooka Joe.
That's how it works. All right, guys. I think we'll wrap it up there this week. That was a pretty good chat, and I will see you next week. Take care, guys.
See ya, boys.
Adios.